Hello everybody. The mask. So in the song she talks about the reflection of her and you into me and me into you, and like how we're all reflections of each other, and there's this whole thing. So I thought that having this mirrored mask would be great, but again, I wanted an all red color palette. They do not sell these masks in red, which is why it kind of has this texture to it, you can see. This is a silver no face mask. They do sell these in like Party City and all kinds of stuff. Usually it's just all one silver piece. Now I wrecked one whole mask trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm gonna tell you how I did it now. This is headlight paper. It's a transparent like mirror paper. They use it to cover taillights and things to make them more red, vibrant. It's a car detailing thing. So you can see through it. So the reflective part of it is actually the mask that I bought, and the red part is this paper. Now, this paper does not stretch or heat, and the under mask does not take heat at all. So it kind of left me with this kind of crinkled effect, which again, kind of, to me, I was like, okay, I don't hate it. It still reflects, and it gives this kind of veinous blood vessel type effect, or even like cracked mirror effect. So I got it as smooth as I could to most of the surfaces, and then just kind of like plied it down into these veins. And then on the back, this is the original silver color, and what I did was I applied these little tabs with magnets. I would probably do this differently in the future, but I only had a couple of days to make this costume, so once I got all the materials. So magnets on the inside, a couple of super squishy foam pieces so that it went up against my head and wouldn't mess up my makeup, and then my nose wouldn't splat in the middle. And then that attaches to the magnets on the inside of the headpiece on either side. Now you can see also. It's a really cool effect. And because it's magnets, I can just take it off. Now I do want to find a way to kind of conceal this a little bit, so it's a little more creepy, alien, sci-fi tech kind of almost situation. Magic, you know? So you can take it off. I do want to find a way to also put it on as fast, so you can take it off and put it on, but I'm still working on that. So, but I don't want to do a mouthpiece, right, with this, because I don't want to glue anything else to the inside of this. This warps super easy and gets scratched super easy, so it's kind of delicate. They're like reflective sunglasses, basically. Like I can see through the mask just fine. It's a little dark, like sunglasses almost, but I can see. So I can see everyone, but they can't see me. So this was the headdress and the mask for reflection, which was a great part of the dance, and it looks so freaking cool. So next in the crafting part, so we're gonna go to the hair. Okay, so I've had orange hair for the last few months. I like to change my hair color a lot. I went from red to orange because I wanted pumpkin spice fall colored hair, and I've kind of gotten addicted to it. So I didn't want to dye my hair red for this piece, and I didn't really have a wig that I liked for it, nor did I have the money or the time to order one. So what I did was I parted my hair down the middle, slicked it back into two sock buns in the back very tightly, and then I painted my hair with body paint. This washes out. It's a water-based aqua paint. I use Mayron Paradise paints in the red, and I just basically took a brush, water, some setting spray, painted it into my hair, which gave it this kind of like wet slick down look, which was really cool. And then threw glitter into it. I bought a huge jar of red glitter in two different sizes, a very like fine and a kind of chunky one. And then I had some red Kanekalon extension hair that I braided in with some scraps of chiffon and the Christmas beads, just really, really long. And then I sewed the Christmas beads Yeah, I sewed them. I sewed the Christmas beads to the bottom to kind of give it like some sort of like banding at the bottom. And yeah, so I made 2 super long extensions. I wanted them to just hang down like ropes, hanging from my head on these 2 big, like almost Princess Leia's buns, but set behind my ear because I had the big headpiece on too. So it was like headpiece back into these buns, into these like long ropes. Movement hair like this, because it's weighted with the beads and like the beads at the end, it moves really well on stage as you're dancing, and it also gives this like really elongated look. That was the hair. So I have 2 braid extensions, a mask, a headpiece, a dress, and then a harness. The harness part is the coolest part and the part that I worked on with me. So I got to shop in my mom's closet, and I had some sports lycra, and it like very thick. Like, I don't even know what I would compare it to. Almost like upholstery fabric, but it was still stretchy. And I use that as my base for the sculpting element of the spine and the heart. I used Great Stuff, which is a expanding spray foam used for insulation on your house because it's cheap, it's lightweight, and it's easy to carve. It's easy to carve, it's easy to paint. The only thing that it's not easy to do is like get it out of the can. Initially, there's not a whole lot of control, even if you have like a small nozzle for it to come out of. What we did was I cut out the general size that I wanted it to be, and then added extra space on each side for clearance of the fabric, because I didn't know if I was going to end up like curling it in or lining it or what. I wasn't sure. I've never used Great Stuff on fabric, so I wasn't sure exactly if it was gonna stick or if it was gonna like melt the fabric, because sometimes this stuff can be kind of toxic until it dries. So once it's dry, it's just a foam and it's not really gonna hurt anybody unless it's like sanded or dusted. But when it first comes out, it's very sticky and the chemicals are very strong. So I wasn't sure how that was gonna react with the elastic of the fabric and that kind of thing. But I drew out kind of like an outline, and we sprayed big mounds of Great Stuff because you want space to be able to carve it down from whatever shape that you're going for. So generally I try and make the Great Stuff space, the area that I'm covering with Great Stuff, like at least twice as large in volume as the final product that I want. Depending on how warm it is in the place that you're crafting, it can take a pretty long time. It likes the heat, and I always end up crafting this stuff in January. I don't know what that's all about. I started crafting this in October, so it was a little chilly in the garage where we do a lot of our stinky craft type things, and so it took a little bit longer to dry than it probably normally would have. Also, the warmer it is, the faster it expands, which means you need less of it. If it's cold, it's not going to expand as much, and it's going to dry in a more condensed form. You're going to get a whole bunch of other stuff. That's a whole different video on Great Stuff, which is interesting. It's really fun it's a fun thing to work with, but it totally worked on the fabric, and I was really surprised that it stayed onto the stretchy fabric. So then I had the mounds of foam all the way down this thing, and I carved them one by one into these little shapes. I kind of liked the spine to be a little unrealistic. I liked these kind of heart-shaped spines that started kind of coming out of what was going on. I knew sometimes paints and glues can react to the Great Stuff foam in unpredictable ways, in ways that you do not want them to, that could puck or ruin your foam. So Mod Podge was kind of like a barrier that I had that was cheap, that I could use to coat in between all the other things that I was going to attach to this thing. So that's why it's a little harder than it would have been if I hadn't. So there was like maybe 3 coats of Mod Podge on the top of this thing, then a coat of red acrylic paint, and then I started gluing all the glitter. So this is, like I said, I like to have my shine in multiple different sizes and facets. So this is actually sequins, seed beads, small glitter, and large glitter. I used E6000 in the spray form and Mod Podge to create this glitter thing. And as you can see, I mean, that's pretty good. I can rub it and not get paint or glitter on me, so I'm down with this method. I definitely want to try it again. It's really light. There's a lot going on here and it's not heavy at all. I didn't have too much trouble with the Mod Podge coating on the outside and the E6000 spray coating on the outside. So my veil didn't stick to it. I'm very, very happy with this. So here's the heart. I just basically had a big square of fabric and I sprayed a bunch of stuff on it, and then I carved this out. Same thing, carved it out, coated it with Mod Podge, painted it, attached all of the sequins, beads, and glitter. My entire craft room was covered in red glitter forever. It's still coated in red glitter. So then I had some old red fringe lying around from another dance project. I made more of these braids of beads and fabric scraps, and I created a rib cage. So I basically took a body form that I had, pinned these to the top on each side. The lighting, I'm working on it, you guys. And then made these bands that draped in the way that I wanted to, pinned them along at a time, and then sewed them on later onto the back fabric part, which was great for attaching other fabric pieces because I could just sew this to that and it wasn't a big deal. Or I could have glued it, really. I mean, at that point, it just depends on how sturdy you want it to be and how many times you want to wear it after that.